Hey guys, Jack from OnWrist back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about an eBay scam someone tried to pull on me for my Rolex. I think it's important to share this because it was a pretty convincing scam and I'm afraid some people might actually fall for it. So I want to just share it and put my experience out there and try to help people not get scammed in the future. So let's get right into it. So to set the stage, I was selling my Rolex 1625 Turnograph on eBay, and it was for about $4,000. I think I had it at an auction for 7 days, and I did that, and I got a couple messages, but no one ended up biting on it. And of course, like the typical eBay messages of people trying to make deals or whatever the case is. And then I posted for another week, and nothing happened. No real bids or anything like that. And then I posted for a third time, and we get, close to the end, around to the 1 or 2 day mark left. And I finally get a message of a really, a good offer for me. And the guy says, I want to give you $5,200 for your watch. If you overnight it, it's for my dad and it's for his birthday. And I have the screenshot, so I'll put it on screen. He said something like that, and I was thinking, all right, it's a little bit more than the watch is probably worth. I could see maybe stretching it a little further. I mean, it kind of just depends on the market, and so and it's kind of a somewhat obscure Rolex, so maybe it just kind of fluctuates. And I was thinking that's great, Again, a little sketchy because it's $5,200 and it's a little bit more than it should be worth, but again, not too much to be concerned about if this is real. And so he said through PayPal only. It's for my dad's birthday if you overnight it. And again, I'm thinking, all right, I'll do whatever it is, I'll overnight it if it means truly getting that amount of money. And I was obviously really excited to sell my watch, so I kind of maybe overlooked that it was a little sketchy, but no big deal, right? So I say, that's perfect. I'll let's do it. What do I have to do? And they said, just give us your PayPal and we'll send the money over. And I was thinking in my head, there's not too much risk here. I mean, if I give them my PayPal, worst case scenario, they can request me for money and they won't actually get anything because I'll obviously deny the request. And there shouldn't really be any issues, in terms of them scamming me. I'm safe, for now, right? And so I give them my PayPal address, and I think 5-10 minutes later, they say the money should have gone through. And I'm thinking, this is great, apparently the money went through and this is happening. I'm getting a really good deal for my watch. And then I check my PayPal and I don't see anything. So I'm thinking, all right, maybe it's an error. Maybe it just needs a little bit to go through. I'm not super experienced with PayPal outside of eBay. And, but I was really determined to do it through PayPal as well, because if you don't know, eBay actually their seller fees are 10%, whereas on PayPal, it's, I believe, around 3% or something around there. So you're saving money by doing it through PayPal. So I was kind of determined to make sure this happens, but at this point, I thought this person was completely legitimate and looking to buy my watch and having it overnighted. And like I said, there's no problem doing that as long as everything works out. So I say it's not going through, and they said, check again, whatever. And I say, after another, 15 minutes or whatever, I say, listen, I don't see it. So maybe when I do, I'll talk to you, but I don't see the PayPal funds. And then they were pretty adamant and trying to convince me, listen, it's out of my account. We got to figure this out. Trust me, it's out of my account. So if anything were to happen, it's okay, because PayPal knows it came out of my account, which obviously I'll tell you, but that obviously didn't happen. And then he says, can you check your email? And I was like, I guess, and I think PayPal I think they normally send you updates about payment and things like that. So I went onto my email address that my PayPal is connected to, and it said, in a very official looking PayPal email that the money went through and there was an address. Now I have the screenshot, and I think if you can you can tell it's somewhat believable. I mean, or it's very believable if you don't really know too much. I mean, I don't check my email too much. It looks like a PayPal email address, a PayPal formatted email, and it looked pretty legit. It said the money went through or something like that, and it said, and then there was an address. And this is where it gets to be kind of an issue, because this is where I think a lot of people would get sort of got by the scam. I know a lot of older people that use PayPal, or and more specifically, they use their email exclusively. They don't use the PayPal app, because what I was able to do is I was able to see through the PayPal app or through the PayPal website that I don't see the money, I'm not shipping anything. And that may seem obvious, but a lot of people, they'll see that update that says $5,200 went into your account, and there's an address there, and they might just ship it, And that's pretty scary, because if I was a little less careful, I would have shipped it, and thinking PayPal sent me an email, all good, right? I mean, you have to think, now knowing it's a scam, it may seem ridiculous, but at the time I was obviously a little hesitant, but it looked like it was a PayPal email address, and everything kind of worked out, and it was a little bit more money that made sense. But obviously, like I said, they kind of made it so there was reasons for them to overpay and pay quickly. And so I just want to make sure I put this out there, because you might really be, or some people might really get confused by this, and they might ship their thing out, their watch, or really, I guess, anything, but and then they ship it out, and maybe a couple days later it's delivered, and they're wondering where the money is. Maybe they finally check PayPal, and even if you call PayPal, they're not going to say that anyone's account sent any money. Nothing happened really, except for a fake email that said they gave you money. So it's kind of scary. You need to pay attention. My recommendation is just to only use PayPal in terms of the app or the website. Don't use email. I mean, it's great to have email to get updates, but if you're going to do anything that's involving any money at all, I mean, not just because this was a Rolex, but really anything, just make sure that you're checking and you're making sure that money goes through, and it's through PayPal that has protections, or eBay that has protections in place. And don't do anything until you actually see the money in your account and it can be transferred into your bank account or wherever you want it to go. So, like I said, it was a pretty scary thing, and I think it probably would get a lot of people who aren't paying as close attention. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So at the end, I actually ended up telling this person, oh, you've been so nice and you're paying more than you should. I'm going to throw in a couple other watches just to be nice. Because obviously at this point I was just playing with the guy. And he kept messaging me back, oh my God, thank you so much. You're so nice. And I'm like, oh, no problem, And then obviously I didn't do anything. I didn't ship anything. And he said, are you shipping it? I'm like, yeah, I shipped it, no big deal. And then a couple hours later, he says, where's the tracking information? And I'm like, I'm working on it or whatever. And eventually I got tired of it and kind of drawing out the scam, because at the end of the day, I didn't send him anything. And I was going to send him something funny or whatever, but I ended up thinking it's not really worth my time. But, they kept messaging me back a couple of days later trying to figure out what happened. And so my best advice is probably just if this does happen to you, just ignore the people. Don't, even though it's maybe fun, don't really engage them, because if you don't engage them, they're not going to do anything with you. Now, obviously, this could happen. This is a real situation that could happen to you. Someone might literally offer you money through PayPal, and you should see it through, I think, if you're really looking to sell something. But like I said, just be careful, make sure they're legit, and like I said, you can tell just by the fact that the money will actually go through versus not happening at all. And also, really quick, I want to mention that they said to check your junk mail, and obviously that was sort of a red flag, but I will say it did not go to my junk mail. It went to my real email. My email was not able to distinguish PayPal and the fake PayPal, and so to me, as someone who maybe feels protected by the system in place to sort out the sort of phony mail, it looked legit because it didn't go to my trash or my junk anyway. So again, just another thing that sort of makes it more convincing, but another reason to just sort of stay careful and make sure you're doing your due diligence, making sure everything goes through. And yeah, that's the best advice I can give you. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And if you enjoy the content, please subscribe for more. And that's it. Thank you.